In the next few videos, we're going to look at some specific examples of referencing different types of sources. We'll start with how to reference books and chapters in edited books. Here's a record on Library Search for a book called The Study Skills Handbook by Stella Cottrell. We've actually got all the details we need to reference the book here on the Library Search record. You can usually find all of this by clicking on the book title in search results. Here I've highlighted all the details that you'll need to write a reference for this particular book. Firstly, you'll need the title, the name of the author, the year that the book was published, and if there is one, the edition number. Some books are only published once, there's one edition, and that means you can leave that off the reference. But if you're looking at a second edition or a fifth edition, etc., then you should include that information because it makes clear to your reader which version of the book you read. Then you need to include the name of the publisher. You don't need to include the place of publication. You'll still see references in the Harvard style that include this, but it's no longer required. And this is what it might look like. So in your in-text citation, you've got the author's surname and the year that the book was published, and that's all you need. In this case, there's only one author, Stella Cottrell. We just use her surname here. You should not include her first name or her initials in the in-text citation. Then there's a comma followed by the year of publication. All of that is in brackets in the particular example I'm giving here because it comes at the end of the sentence. The in-text citation tells the reader where you got the information in this statement from. Then in the reference list, it starts again with the author's surname. Remember that your reference list will be organised alphabetically by author's surname. So if someone is looking to find out more details about this source, they can just go straight to C in the reference list to find all of the details. In the reference list, the author's surname is then followed by a comma and their first initial, S. Then we've got the year of publication again in brackets. After that, we have the title of the book. In Brooks Harvard, book titles should be in italics. Then we've got the edition number, and that's slightly abbreviated to 6th EDN. EDN just stands for edition. And finally, we've got the name of the publisher, and we end with a full stop. Do pay attention to these little details of formatting and punctuation because they make a difference to how easy it is for your reader to be able to identify that this is a reference for a book and not another type of source. If a whole book has been written by the same author or authors, they've written all of the chapters in the book, you should just reference the whole book. You only need one reference in your reference list, even if you're citing different parts of the book throughout your work. But there is another situation that you will probably come across at some point, which is a book that has been compiled by an editor or editors. Each chapter within these books has a different author. In that case, in your in-text citation, you should cite chapter, and then in the reference you tell the reader which book that chapter is from. Here we're referencing a chapter called Islamic Tourism Products in a book called Islamic Marketing and Branding, Theory and Practice. You need to include details of the chapter, the author and the title, and details of the book, the names of the editors, the title and the publisher. And then finally, we've got the page range. That's the start and end page for this chapter, preceded by pp. It helps your reader to find the exact chapter in the book that you are mentioning. A few general tips for referencing books. You can reference an ebook just like a print book. There's no need to include a web link or URL or any extra details like the access date. You can just treat it just the same as a print book. Remember that chapters only need to be cited separately if they're chapters in edited books. If there's no author name at the beginning of a chapter, then you can assume that all of the book's authors contributed and you should just reference the whole book. There's guidance on Cite Them Right on how to cite books and books chapters in the Brooks Harvard style.